Hi, my name is Megan McDowell, and I'm one of the co-founders of Track My Clinical. I created this video for students to teach you how to use Track My Clinical for your labs and for your clinical experiences. On your phone, go to app.trackmyclinical.com and simply log in using your college or your university email address. If it's the first time that you're accessing the platform, you'll have to click on the red button where it says No Account, Create One. Once you've entered your email, you'll get a message that says, please enter the account that was sent to your email. There will never be a password that you have to remember to use for the platform. Once you've successfully logged into the platform, you're going to see several options available to you on the home screen. The first option is going to be check in and check out, which you'll be using to clock into clinical or any of your lab or simulation experiences that require check-in. The next thing that you'll be able to see is track your progress. So as you use this semester over semester, you'll be able to see cumulative hours, both for the semester and year to year, depending on how long your school is using it. You also have the ability to view your rotations. So any clinical rotations or open labs that you're currently enrolled in, you'll be able to see that on that view. And that'll give you both your dates, your times, when you're scheduled to be in clinical. The other thing that you can see is the skill log. So that's a feature that can be enabled by the school. If your school has chosen to enable that feature, you have the ability to track skills that you've done in the lab and in the clinical setting. On this version, you can see where it's a dark version. So you do have the ability to alter whether you have the light or dark version. And the mobile view is going to be a little bit more linear, where this one, if you've accessed it on a computer, it's going to look a little bit more horizontal. Once you hit the check-in button, it will ask you what course you want to check into. It will verify with you that that was the correct course. Once you get the ability to check in, if you haven't already, it may ask you to allow location verification on your browser. Now, depending on if you're using Chrome or Safari, that might look a little bit different, but a pop-up will show up that'll ask you to allow location-based services, in which you'll click either always allow or during this instance. Just know with geofencing, we are not able to track where you are. We're simply able to see if your phone is within certain coordinates of where your clinical setting is supposed to do. So don't fear that we're tracking you outside of clinical. It just sets the location based on where you are. So if you're within the radius of your clinical site or your lab, you have the ability to clock in or clock out. If you are not within that radius, or if you forget to clock out while you're still on site, it will not allow you. And you'll get a message that'll say you're no longer on site. Please work with your coordinator or your clinical instructor to edit your hours. You will get an email, and your clinical instructor will get an email if you should forget to clock out. And that typically happens 14 hours after you've checked in. And that allows for if you have either a day shift or a night shift rotation. Under the Track My Progress option allows you to see all the times that you've clocked in and out of both clinical and lab experiences. You have the option not only to view your hours, but to easily export them into a Google or into an Excel file. You may be required to enter either your clinical evaluation tool or any clinical assignments through the platform. You'll see a hyperlink under your rotation where you'll be able to fill in the data and submit to your instructor for review. Your instructor then has the ability to enter feedback and complete the assessment, or they can return to you if they don't feel like you filled it out completely enough. If you're interested in viewing your skills or adding a new skill, simply click on Skill Log from the home page or the upper right menu. To add a new skill, click on the blue button that says Add New. From there, you'll have to associate the skill to a course and add the participant level. So this might be if you performed a skill independently, you observed a skill, or maybe you did it under direct supervision of a nurse or your instructor. You also have the ability to add the date that it was performed and any comments. Your school might have enabled the feature where your instructor has to sign off on the skills, or they may not have, where you're just able to view a list of all the skills that you've performed across the time in your clinical rotations. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or any issues, feel free to reach out. You can either go to trackmyclinical.com or you can email me directly at megan@candor360.com. Thanks so much.